And again.
Yeah, it's pretty much, well, they have one Stampede, but if you get ruptured, then it's also like a downfall kind of play. Honestly, everything's going to come down to the perfect SF game. Can he get it done? He does, of course, have that BKB. Now with the Dragon Lance on top as well, but it's such a tough game to even get yourselves back, because in the team fights, you're not advantageous.
Yeah, they need to start off fights by killing an important hero. If they start the fight by killing off something like a Void Spirit, they're gonna be in a good position, but they need to get the jump.
Radiant's courier just got
See
killed.
what they can do.
SF level 14, no Shadow Rays levels. So weird.
Ooh, smoke comes out.
Stop onto 2 Mystic Flare, get rid of the Woodstock immediately. That's a first. Didn't use most of their spells though.
Aghanim's up on the Void Spirit. He's very farmed.
Okay, chasing after the Ogre. 5 for a 5 trade. Not the end of the world.
Nothing of value was lost. In Infinity, they want to keep going. They know there is no Mystic Flare now, so no one is gonna get blown up.
And no
They
Stampede.
still have the RP.
No Beam Coil. And no Skywrath. Because for some reason Skywrath decided to linger while his team already kind of realized that they're going for the tier 1 tower. And if you're up against the Void Spirit, it's not a good idea to stand anywhere close, especially now that he's got his Ags down, going for bots next. He's going to be everywhere.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
The SF is gonna be going for a Silver Edge. I'm not sure how much that is gonna do for him. He still dies in a single stun right now, which is a very scary position to be in. Roche is gonna be attempted, and with this Solar Crest plus Little Shredder minus armor, Roche just absolutely melts. There is a Dream Coil up though. Interitus is gonna scout this.
Once you can actually TP bottom, Roche is half HP. You've got an SF on your side who does 200 auto attack damage. This is actually a pretty good time. If you get one pick off, you could walk in the pit and steal it.
They may just be able to steal it anyway, because I don't think Infinity saw them going into Roche, and Ogre showed on the high ground.
Oh no. Oh no.
Ooh, this timing is very unfortunate for Interitus. Can Infinity take advantage?
Okay, Stampede wasted. Vehicle dropped on the back line. Void Spirit kept out of the fight, but Rupture lost Mortimer's kisses. A lot of damage. Buck trying to stay alive, but he's going to get caught out, and that's going to be a double kill. Looking for more. SF does blow his load. 6 down, everything. Oh my god, look at the damage. RP getting in charge of the silence. Oh, the big plays coming through. Is it enough though to turn the fight in their favor? Buyback came through from the Ogre. Not necessarily the strongest for the re-engagement, but he's going to chase for more. Can they chase down these supports plus the Magnus, who's still lurking for an RP? Look at the Ogre just mowing them down. Skewer RP though, gets both supports, and that's going to be a double kill. However, Roche is still not dead.
Double kill.
And it is actually surprising to me that we didn't get to see like a puck buyback.
That was an intense support fight. All the cores just died at the start. But this SF with his BKB, you need to respect him. His Void Spirit got like 4 or 5 shot. I have to give a huge amount of credit as well to Pimpole on this Skywrath mage, silencing right before the RP came out. Some fast fingers on that man.
Now both teams gonna keep an eye on that Roche pit again. Of course, yeah, you mentioned it that SF did shred in that fight. And once he gets that Silver Edge, well, the Chrysalis part of the Silver Edge, you get a couple of those crits added on top. I mean, he didn't only kill off the Void Spirit in quick succession, he took down that Bloodseeker like it was nothing.
Yeah, and Bloodseeker is I want to say by far the most farmed hero in this game. Didn't feel that way last fight. Getting a BKB is gonna help for him though, because he got shut down pretty badly.
Oh, smoke gank. Wanna yoink it? No RP available though. Oh, and that's a perfect jump side smoothly. There's the Wrecking of Souls. Popped up. Dream coil. But the stun on the voice, but he does die. Mark is going in for everything right now. The BKB is just too much to handle. If you can't control the Bloodseeker, he will control you. Chasing for more. The cookie stun comes up. The center is surrounded. The center is gonna die back, and that's gonna be right here. Chased by a stun, will be able to dodge it, but they won't be able to defend Roshan any longer. And it looked, I mean, it was a very bad start of the fight for Interitus. That immediate blink silence was perfect from the Void Spirit. Unfortunately, got hit by that Raccoon plus Dream Coil, so he was kind of completely dead. It was a nice counter play, but yeah.
Yeah, he died for a good cause.
Centaur taken down at the start of the fight was pretty much their downfall.
Yeah, Centaur really needs a BKB. He feels completely useless, and he's going for a pipe as well, which is pretty much half a BKB. That's money that he doesn't really... I mean, he can't really afford to spare 1500 gold on a pipe recipe. Yeah, and he queues up the BKB next, but at this pace, not sure if he's ever gonna get it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, it is gonna be a pretty problematic affair if they ever want to try and get back in the game. I mean, the center, yeah, you mentioned it. He's gonna be 2 items in 25 minutes. He's got no farm. That Witch Doctor and even the Snapfire all at his heels right now in terms of net worth.
Bottom tower is no more.
And Snapfire is closing in on the Blink Aghanim Shard combination, which transforms Snapfire from a long-ranged artillery hero to a pretty powerful initiator.
Yeah, nice 1.5 second stun. AoE in front of you, pushing them back as well. Only not too bad. The Void Spirit's going for the old Kaya Sanj. Gotta get status resistance because, well, you definitely can see why in that fight. Did get, of course, that initiation, but the Dream Coil plus Terrorize, I mean, he was just perma stun locked. Buck went for the Aeon Disc, so doesn't want to get one shot anymore.
Yeah, that is definitely the right decision, I think, because BKB is very nice, at the same time doesn't do anything against RP, and you're still gonna get destroyed by the Aether Remnant.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
It's definitely a tough game. I mean, that's always the case if you're up against a lineup that has BKB piercing effects. BKB always sounds like the perfect item, but it isn't the answer if you're up against a Rupture and a RP that pierces right through it. And of course the Witch Doctor ulti, but you know, that's just... that always hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Witch Doctor is very strong in this game. We've seen how much work Maledict can do, and we haven't really even seen that many ultis. And imagine that the longer this game goes on for, the more opportunities he's gonna have. Would love to see the shard as well.
Free bottom lane. How will you defend it is the question. Immediate initiation, Mystic Flare? No, because that's an Aegis on Parker. That'd be just a waste.
Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen.
They could just pop it, but they really don't want to. Also, if they do go for a Blink Stomp on the Bloodseeker, they might just lose the Centaur again. There is nothing stopping Infinity from engaging them.
FCR on the run. They know where he is. They're trying to scout him out, throwing spells all over the place, even a random dust. But he ran to the opposite end in the Dire's jungle where they do not have any vision. However, they are getting very close, and that courier might give enough information. Parker nearby does have a basher, so FCR, it's 3 mans playing with fire.
I was hoping for a moment that he was gonna go for a Requiem play.
I mean, the Bloodseeker has 2.4k HP, you're not gonna kill him.
If you stand exactly on top of him, it's like 1600 magic damage. That should be enough time to get some right clicks in as well, but it's definitely not worth the risk.
I think maybe if he had the Silver Edge, could do it. Get that extra crit on top. Somebody might just not be strong enough center. However, he's gonna of course be there. A nice juicy free pick. And Infinity will finish off the range racks.
Radiant's bottom
So
barracks
the
is
Aegis
low.
is gone in 10 seconds. The center's gone for 40.
Radiant's middle tower needs help.
Parker's gotta be careful to make good use of that Aegis being popped. FCR is just, you know, chilling in the enemy's jungle.
He needs to do something, but he doesn't want to show in lane because he's very vulnerable. So the enemy jungle is one of the safest places to fight. That's for sure. They would love to get back some control with their shrines or outposts. Ideally, because right now it's so hard for them to leave the base. Puck does almost have an Aghanim Scepter, and that could be very big against the Bloodseeker. So if there is one hero that enjoys running around, it's probably him.
Ogre Mage has Psychic Headband. Neutral items proc, right? For this multicast?
Yeah, but only on enemies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Clumsy Net was the one that was always OP on him.
I would love to see Ogre Magi just yeet 3 people out of coil with it.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. Oh please, that would be so sick.
Smoke
God.
into smoke.
Just
Gonna run into
barely dodging
Magnus.
each other.
No, they're not gonna run into anyone. They just pass by unnoticed.
This will hasten my footfalls.
Yeah, but they definitely know where the other team is now. Random ogre just popped up.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes ogres just spawn on the map.
Though there is a chase from behind. Ace from Void is about to end.
Just as much help
They're
as
all
Bard.
hiding behind one little piece of high ground that's going to jump in. But the Aether actually hits the puck. Pops is in this already. Center Stampede going in aggressively on towards the Wingstalker, but they immediately lost the Ogre Magi. FCR starts to bump out some damage. He does do some damage. Oh, the Rupture RP play onto the Shadow Fiend, and he's just going to get skewered to death. Nothing he can do in that case. Trying to TP out, but the Missile Blade hit. Plus everything. Parker is too strong and too farmed. They can't do anything against the Seeker of Blood.
Radiant's middle
That was
tower
a
is under
beautiful
attack.
initiation once again by the Void Spirit. He jumps in and silences 3 heroes instantly. This
Radiant's
Aghanims
top
has
tower
been
is under
so good
attack.
in this game. And we often see Void Spirits not being able to farm well enough to stay
Radiant's
relevant,
top
but
tower has
PP
been
is doing a great job. I also love his name.
Well, PP does, of course, get that empower buff the entire time from the Magnus. Those supports are also not too shabby on their farm. I mean, they have the Snapfire has the blink and shard done now as well. So in all honesty, this game is going to be very hard to win for the Radiant team. I dare say it, near impossible.
Yeah, they picked this big wombo combo, but by the time it came online, we were already so far behind.
Well, Gaben gives them 2% chance.
I mean, seems decent. Let's see what they can do. 2% is objectively more than 1%, so they have that
It is
going for them.
twice as much, so that's 100% more, aka
Yeah.
value. But yeah, Center is still busy with that pipe.
One day he'll get it.
Yeah, we saw that, what, 7 minutes ago that he was, 8 minutes ago maybe, that he was still building that recipe alone.
That is pretty sad because you get a pretty good amount of passive income. I feel like he's just been losing gold because he dies every single fight and has to buy back.
Another smoke coming in, but they're just waiting on the high ground, or actual high ground. Voidspear jumps through. Ogre Mage is dead.
Even dodges the coil.
Rupture onto the center. You can't run away. RP to interrupt the Requiem, and now it's going to be full control. Shadow Fiend skewed back. Shadow Fiend taken down. Easy kills. And the G to the G gets called. Yeah, that was... I mean, for the most part, Infinity had full control over this game. In the laning stage, the bottom lane did go, like...
What did you expect?
A decent way in favor of Interitus, but...
Yep. It felt surgical from Infinity. Interitus just... It got absolutely dismantled.
Radiant team
Ik als
ban.
plusmedewerker vind het weer mooi geslaagd. Echt een mooie kerstgedachte. Fijne feestdagen allemaal.
Dire team's
Oh,
turn
wat
to
mooi.
ban. Radiant team's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team's turn to pick. Dire team's turn to pick.
Weet je wat?
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to Radiant team's turn to pick.
Lion.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, in towards game
10 seconds
2
remaining.
we go between Infinity and Interitus. Game number 1 was
5
a
seconds remaining.
very one-sided affair. Game number 2 might be a
Radiant
different
team's
story.
turn to ban.
However, I'm seeing some similarities to the first game here, Wingblade.
They were like, oh, that game was rough. Centaur didn't really pay off last game, so let's just first phase pick it again.
It's kind of an
10
interesting
seconds
choice in
remaining.
that regard. And Witch Doctor's not banned out just yet. But yeah, don't really expect them to go for it again, though. To be fair with the Mars, it's actually not that
Radiant
bad.
team ban.
Place the Death Ward inside, stand outside, go ham.
Yeah, I mean, Witch Doctor was super
Dire
good
team's
last
turn to
game
ban.
against Sentai. I mean, when you pick such a one-dimensional hero as Centaur,
Radiant team's
and
turn
you
to
don't
ban.
have a good time in lane, well, the game is just pretty miserable. And they can just make it happen once again. Like, nothing is stopping them. Snapfire, Witch Doctor, is a pretty darn good support duo.
Dire team's turn to ban.
Aggressive as well in their approach to try and secure kills, and honestly it was pretty impressive how many kills the Witch Doctor managed to secure in the first game. I think he was 6-0 at one point, and he got, well, 6 out of the 7 kills that his team had.
10 seconds
He ended up
remaining.
9-2 and 12, most kills in the game.
5 seconds
That's actually
remaining.
pretty nuts. Oh, that was such a good performance from I can't pronounce his name.
Dire team's turn to pick.
Yeah, some people just don't make it easy for us casters, but that's okay. They're here to play. If you can't pronounce it, just make something up. Just call him Steven or something.
Yeah, Steven's so good. Though
10
I'd be
seconds
really impressed if
remaining.
he could do the exact same thing again in his game. On the other side, we do
5
have a line,
seconds
of course. It was very annoying in the laning stage, a little bit of
Radiant team's
that
turn to pick.
mana drain. Plus, you can set up some nice stuns, especially if you combo it with a Jakiro. Like Centaur Stomp in, hit them with the Ice Bath, then the Earth Spike on top. That's a lot of stuns, and a lot of lengthy stuns in a row.
10
Good amount of
seconds
pushing
remaining.
power as well. It's some nice synergy with the other two heroes too,
5
because
seconds
they have
remaining.
more reliable stuns. And while Ice Path is very strong, reliable is not a label I would attach to it.
Yeah, it does have that 0.3 seconds or whatever it is where you don't hit it. So it's definitely, it's not necessarily purely reliable, but it is very long and very, yeah, just lengthy. The stun duration is like 2.5 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Add the talent on top and no one can ever run away. But of course, you're gonna need to have some damage on top of those nice stuns that they have. So that's gonna be the point of the 2 next cores, where I do think Voker could be a nice one.
Yeah, I think Invoker is just a very
Radiant
strong hero in
team's turn to
general.
pick.
Of course, they could go for a Spirit as well if they want to. Man, I'm so confused why they would pick Ogre when Witch Doctor worked so beautifully last game.
Well, they
Dire
just
team's turn to
pretty
pick.
much wanted to show how
Okay.
it's done with the Ogre game. Okay, SF.
Well, this explains it.
There's the Ogre SF lane that we saw previously as well in the first showdown, which Interitus chose
10
to
seconds
wield.
remaining.
Well, they did it very well in the laning stage at the very
5
least.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, Infinity is like, well, we can do this better than you. And so far it looks like a pretty good Shadowfiend game, because once again there is squishy supports, and once he gets a BKB he's gonna have a great time. And of course the Requiem plus Arena of Mars is a pretty sick combination as well. It's similar to Terrorize.
And we saw it in the first game where the Ogre Magic Shadow Fiend lane was very easily won over the Magnus plus. What was the second one?
The second what?
Oh, that was Snapfire, I think. Yeah. No, I was thinking in the lane that lost against the Shadow Fiend Ogre Magic.
Ah yeah, it was the Snapfire. They tried to go for some cheeky plays with like the cookie into the skewer back, but they couldn't really execute that because Ogre was just there with the Fire Blast to interrupt it.
Radiant team
Doing
ban.
Ogre things. Being fairly tanky. Void Spirit. Now Interitus are gonna yoink that one away from Infinity. Can they get the same performance going though? Because PP looked superb and Rajur had a pretty tough laning stage. I mean,
10
yeah,
seconds remaining.
lost his career, then lost his life towards the enemy's tier 1 tower
Team
top,
ban.
where they got lost 3 of their members in that attempt. It looked incredibly rough for the puck.
Yeah. But now this Void Spirit isn't last picked, so Infinity can just pick up a good matchup. If they pick
10
something
seconds
like
remaining.
DOD, Void Spirit is gonna have a miserable time.
5
To have
seconds
as
remaining.
much impact as he had last game. Because while
Radiant team
Puck
ban.
is still a favorable matchup, Void Spirit does okay. But there are certain heroes that can kind of box out the Void Spirit completely.
Monkey King
Dire
mid.
team ban.
It's been a while since I've seen that one as a counter to the Void Spirit. TA, of course, very good against Void Spirit.
And speaking about Voids, the Faceless Voids is banned. PL is gonna be banned as well. Because, well, PL is just a
10
very
seconds
good
remaining.
matchup against
Turn to
Shadowfiend,
pick.
especially when he doesn't pick up raises.
Last pick is, of course, for Interitus, who can, as you said, maybe go for an illusion-based hero. The Infinity don't I mean, they've got the Mars and maybe the Snapfire,
seconds
more
remaining.
Kisses, but that's nowhere near enough to get rid of an actual big,
5 seconds
tanky
remaining.
illusion hero like a PL, possibly a Naga. If you want to try and set something up, Naga's not really. I mean, Naga into Ice Bath is always nice.
Yeah, they have some good setups. I would just be very worried about their mid game. As Infinity, they're setting up for some spooky timings. Once you have Blink BKB on Mars and BKB plus 1 item on Shadowfiend, they're just gonna be hitting towers. So they can just pick up the Presence Effects Buildings talent.
And Snapfire.
And yeah, it's terrifying. You have like minus 12 armor on towers.
And Ogre probably a medallion or Snapfire medallion added on top. Plus Roche dies incredibly quickly with their lineup already. Add in a nice with a suit mid laner. Still going under the assumption that this is a safe
Dire
SF.
team's turn to pick.
In
And
They do.
Poker gets picked
Pick it up.
up. Okay, I actually expected to go the other way, but it also works wonders with Mars.
It scales really well too. Like late game, you have the Spear of Mars into Cataclysm. Pretty darn reliable. Of
seconds
course, it's a good matchup against Void Spirit, and there's a really nice amount of aggression
5
in the
seconds
early game.
remaining.
It does okay against Void Spirit. It's not like a counter because you can't EMP him. So Quaswex is a lot weaker against him, but you still kind of want to go Quaswex because everyone goes Quaswex. Unless you're actually planning on, you know, sunstriking the side lanes, which granted, if there's a Mars Snapfire and an Ogre Magi Shadow Fiend lane, the sunstriking the side lanes might get you a lot of kills.
Phantom, choose your hero.
I was gonna ask which carries seem good against SF, and I wanted to mention the PA, because once you go later, you do have the built-in evasion and crit, which is something that SF needs to itemize around.
And Silver Edge.
But once again, I mean, Silver Edge definitely works, yeah. But I'm quite worried about the mid game for Interitus, because PA needs a lot of time to come online, and even with the mischance, if SF runs at you with 200 damage at 10 minutes, well, you can dodge 15% of his attacks, but you're still gonna get demolished.
Yeah, it's a rough game for Interitus, I would say again. I mean, you already had the Ogre Magi with the
10 seconds remaining.
Bloodlust buff. Add in the Voker's Alacrity buff on a Shadow
5
Fiend
seconds remaining.
with all their minus armor that they also have, and just have fun. You know, Roche dies in 3 seconds, Building die in 3 seconds, He's die in 3 seconds. This is looking like...
Seconds later, you win the game.
Yeah. Pretty much the way that Infinity wants to play this, it seems. Maybe the Void Spirit and, you know, Centaur. If the Centaur has a better lane, he could be a bit more useful, because that is definitely something they missed last game. They just didn't have an offlaner.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's gonna have a much better lane though. It's probably gonna be slightly better because there is no Maledict, but I mean, who needs Maledict when the enemy SF just destroys you in 3 hits?
Yep, so I guess our predictions align in this one?
I think so. I am definitely gonna give it to Infinity.
Yep, Infinity all the way. Just watch us be wrong because it's a PA and he gets like 17 crits in a row. And then whatever you plan and think doesn't matter anymore. Because RNGesus is real.
I mean, there is a chance that PA crits every single hit. It is just a very small chance.
It's like, you know, the triple bash on the Faces Void, where you just like stun lock someone until he's dead. Where,
Prepare for
yes,
battle.
technically it's possible. Is it plausible? No.
Great, they're back.
Yeah, I think the chances are smaller. I mean, the chances are like 1 in X, where X is larger than the amount of atoms in the observable universe.
But you are saying that there is a chance.
Definitely.
That's what we're here for. SF gonna be, of course, that safe lane SF. Wondering if he's gonna go for the same build, Presence of the Dark Lord level 1 or Necromaster level 1.
I mean, he already has a different build because he didn't pick up the Quelling Blades. He has a Fairy Fire instead.
Oh yeah,
And another branch.
that's weird. A range hero that doesn't have a Quelling Blade. I even see Focus with Quelling Blades, but this one does not.
It is quite uncommon, I would say, for mid heroes. It happens more often on safe lane
get
heroes.
on
Like
with
you
it.
see it very often on Dusas, Lunas, these kinds of heroes, because they know that they're gonna be spending a lot of the early game hitting creeps, while mid laners tend to be a little bit more active and a little bit more vulnerable as well, which makes it more appealing for them to buy stats instead of just pure damage.
Well, it looks like we might have a brawl before the rune spawn, because there's a pretty hefty
30 seconds
grouping
to
here. Interitus really want to try and scoop this rune up. which is also very greedy, of course. But there's a charge coming forward. EMP being thrown out. PP drains a little bit of mana. Hoof stomping on the ogre. Good pull. There we go. Does get taken down, and first blood secured for Infinity. And
Raises level 1.
Level raises, yeah. What the? Ew. He's actually gonna level raise?
Let's get moving.
I think it's just a value point, honestly. Like, I would definitely trade 1 point in raises for first blood. Seems like a worthwhile trade.
Well, D-Flash, he's gonna get taken down as well. And the ogre gets that kill secured, so he's also gonna get himself a little bit of extra cash, while Parker, in the meantime, beelined back towards that bottom lane, is now done with the full magic wand getting delivered. Not too bad, especially because the line's at 1 point just gonna drain your mana the entire time anyway.
Let's see if Centaur can prove all the haters wrong. And have a good lane and a good game here. I wanna say I'm rooting for the little guy, but he's pretty big. So we'll keep an eye on mid lane as well. As we mentioned, Invoker is not a counter to Void Spirit, but I would still expect PP to do well in this lane.
Yeah, I mean, that's mainly because I've been very impressed by his own Void Spirit performance last game.
Oh, lots of damage onto Parker. Is he gonna go down? Doesn't look like it. It was very close, but Centaur is just level 1. Double Edge would have definitely killed Parker here.
Yeah, it's currently Parker trying to get those Necromastery stacks. He's using the Shadow Rays for it, though. But
I mean, when you skill it up for a first blood, you might as well use it in lane then as well. Lion, some very aggressive positioning here. Needs to watch out because there is enough mana for at least a double raise.
And if the ogre gets a stun, Lion dies.
Lion looks quite...
Oh, make sure that he stays out of range.
fine.
So,
No worries there.
also gotta be careful a little bit further down the line. Triple raise! And it is actually the ogre getting the kill. But yeah, the raise really coming in clutch in the early laning stage.
Yeah, it's paying off. Turns out raise is a pretty good spell. I still don't think he's gonna put in more points than 1. But hey, he's gotten 1 kill and 1 assist out of it. Looks like a pretty worthwhile exchange.
Yeah, top lane's actually not having that problematic of a lane either. Creep's getting pulled by D-Flash. Just, okay, pull the range creep. It's always a nasty camp to pull because it just sometimes has a mind of its own.
Yeah, creep AI is a little bit wonky in Dota sometimes. It's part of the charm. I expect to see some action at some point in this top lane. Because there is a lot of damage and not that many defensive tools. But so far, both the Mize and the PA look to be perfectly content just farming.
Yeah, most of the action is in that bottom lane. I mean, Lion stands out of position once.
Look at this, Parker. 2 points into race.
Ew.
What is happening?
What is this? Why he no build same? Actually, to be fair, he's having a really good laning stage. And it's pretty decent for farming the jungle. Oh, Stomp, he's in trouble. Does just barely run away. Does he survive? The ogre trying to block, but gives away that there's an observer ward. However, that's definitely value. Get rid of a couple of those Necromastery stacks. And, well, you kill the SF, which is definitely the biggest value of all. The Centaur, with 2 assists to his name, even though he did already die, starts off the laning stage a lot better than he did last game.
Centaur? little bit low, but has stick charges as well. I have to say I'm a little bit confused about this bottom lane now for Infinity. I thought the reason why they picked Ogre was to give the steroids to SF, going for this right-click build, which would amplify him like it did last game. But now they went for the race build, and at that point, I feel like they should have just picked Witch Doctor if they weren't planning to use that synergy.
Oh, Shadowfiend, hoof stomped again, in trouble. And Parker's gonna get taken out every single time the Ogre walks away. They're gonna lose the SF, and that is another death, and that's in quick succession. So even if he respawns, he still has 20 seconds on his TP scroll, which really destroys his laning stage. The only plus is, now that he's got 2 points in Shadow Rays, he can farm the jungle camp faster.
That's so great. He can recover from the problem he made for himself. It's always nice.
That is value. I mean, he did. I guess the reason why he went for Shadow Rays builds because he wanted to magic wand in that lane, so that he had, you know, any use of the magic wand except for the tiny bit of healing that it does.
Yeah, he just wants the value from getting the mana. That's a pretty 5-head play.
I mean, I did, yeah. Otherwise, it's a strange choice. I don't really know why he went for it. This time, though, Centaur did also go for the double edge, 2 levels again, where he doesn't get punished by the enemy having a Witch Doctor. Luckily enough. Otherwise, his entire build again would kill himself. Oh, that is...
Curious to see if he goes... No, I was gonna say if he puts 3 points in, but...
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Don't be such a silly goose.
In my book.
3 points? At that point, you probably actually start killing yourself.
So Invoker rotates to the bottom at the same time as the Void Spirit, but Invoker was just slightly earlier, and now Void Spirit is sitting here in an Invis room being like, what do I do now?
Walking up towards the center.
Because they know he's here, because they have a sentry.
Okay, just spotted him. Invoker didn't even leave. He's still waiting for the Void Spirit to make a move.
He's like, Void Spirit is missing, I'm gonna stick around, see what I can do.
Can't seem to get anything though. And
my goodness. Speaking about builds, look at Mars. It's time for memes, DK.
oh my god, he's actually... We talked about this in the NA game, because I think it was a Pango who went for a Meteor Hammer, and we even talked about the fact that Mars is also a hero that tends to go for the meme hammer. There we get to see the memes fully done. A lot of region that you gain from it, of course, and a decent amount of stats, but it's just so weird. It's just so weird.
You have like no good way to set it up for yourself until level 7.
Well, Tornado comes in, Ice Path, interrupts it, and that's the gank attempt completely failed because, well, PA does have a way to get out of Arena.
And Mars doesn't have boots because he bought a bloody Meteor Hammer. On the bright side, he's gonna push faster. That is very nice.
Yeah, he can take down towers slightly faster. Well, actually a lot faster because Mars is terrible at taking towers. However, is in a little bit of trouble. Dodge and weave. Dodges the Ice Path nicely. Still slowed down. In the meantime, there's a big fight going elsewhere. Void Spirit's gonna get caught out. PP rushes top. And there were, I think, in 3 different lanes, 3 different fights.
During all the time, I was just watching Mars walk away very slowly. He's gonna get the Meteor Hammer this time.
Is this your knife in my shield?
And I missed the Meteor Hammer. I missed it. Oh my lord.
There was a single tree there, which PA got speared to, and then with the EMP and Meteor Hammer, there was no chance for him to escape.
I'm waiting till we see the Fokker Meteor Hammer build again. I think Thompson did that, where he went Crosswax and then went like Urn into Meteor Hammer, then hit them with the Tornado, and then time it perfectly where they land to get hit by the Meme Hammer.
But wasn't that only a thing because there was a talent that increased the tornado duration, or am I misremembering this?
I can't remember. I have no idea if that was the case.
Kiro. 26 HP, totally fine.
I'm actually
SF.
thinking.
You might be
I'm actually thinking about another item.
They're beating on Dyer's top tower.
Oh. My god, what's happening with all these fights? Center Stampede, okay, they're fighting towards the enemy's triangle. Red Sure now taken down. They did lose the SF, but they found 2 kills in return. I was in the meantime looking for a specific item that I can't think the name
Radiant's
of.
bottom tower's
For
got
some awful reason.
top tower is under attack.
Ring of Basilius, that's it. I was thinking about the Naga Siren. Ring of Basilius.
Radiant's
Toggle
bottom
Meme
tower is
Hammer.
under attack.
Remember that one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Are those
good stuff.
cracks in Dyer's
It was a
top tower?
perfect timing where you had to toggle it like twice or something, and then
Radiant's bottom
it
tower.
would perfectly drop. Like someone figured that out when you could still toggle it, of course. Catch onto the Mars is in a bit of trouble. So it's pretty
Radiant's
tanky with the
bottom
infused
tower's
raindrops
got
and meteor hammer.
+8 all attributes. You think he's killable? Think again.
Radiant's
Man's got
bottom
boots as
tower is
well.
under attack.
You're never gonna catch this speedy
Dyer's
boy.
top tower is under attack.
Mice is just leagues ahead of all other players in this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is no more.
Not in terms of net worth or damage or impact.
SF actually didn't level raise to the max.
I guess just 2 points. The second point does almost double the value. So
Yeah,
I'll forgive him for now.
Though it is still weird, 2 safe lane SFs, completely different builds in 2 games. Well, not completely different builds. BP is gonna get caught though. Next up, press run away. Die, but there's Mariano coming through with the cookie on top.
Radiant's middle tower
He
is
tried
under
to pick up
attack.
that kill on the Mars, but unfortunately he's got a very greedy Snapfire in his team.
And this time, Centaur is having a very good game because he's not playing against the Witch Doctor, so he's gonna have a nice 11-minute blink. Nothing to complain about.
Are those cracks in Dyer's top tower?
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to get at his other items at a decent pace as well. Definitely a good pipe game.
And speaking about items,
Interitus.
PA has the Battle Fury.
12 minutes in, no boots. The full greed Battle Fury. Does need a couple of hefty stacks though.
Yeah, that is pretty great timing for him. If you can get away with it, it's a really nice build. SF is quite ready to fight though. It's a DD rune as well. 300 damage with this DD rune. He's gonna be enjoying
Dyer's
this.
middle tower is under attack.
Ooh, Sentry comes out, but not quite in time to
Dyer's middle
spot
tower
PP.
isn't going to last long.
You need
Yeah.
more than just a Sentry to look at the PP.
Yeah. Oh my god. Every single time you say that, I'm thinking of like it's something Dutch.
Uh-huh.
I
Good
assume you
choice.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about, DK. But we'll discuss that another time. Shakiro could be in trouble here. Invoker unwilling to commit.
Well, right now, they are gonna attempt to go onto the Jakiro. Void Spirit's nearby. Mortimer's Kisses a little bit early because no one's on top of the Jakiro. Center Stampede, easy walk away. No real catch.
They exchange a kiss for a stampede.
Yeah, Mars doesn't have his blink yet because he's got the Meteor Hammer. The value. Currently, Evoker going for the Hand of Midas after Spirit Vessel, but with the Spirit Vessel done, they don't have any ways of getting rid of it, except for like the Void Spirit using himself, but the rest of the team kind of just slowly burns.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Yeah, I feel like this
Radiant
is the most
structures are
meta
fortified.
Invoker build these days. You have a lot of tempo with the Spirit Vessel, so you can fight really early, you're very tanky. And then with the Midas, it's gonna help you skill into the late game. Secure that BKB, BOTs, Cataclysm with the Aghanims. It's just a very nice, well-rounded build.
Ogre Magi going to get caught, but again, it's an Ogre Magi. Arena misses the mark. They just walk away. That's a big wasted ulti if they want to reinitiate. Actually, speaking of which, top lane, they will find Pimpollo. TP on the run. Big tornado keeps him at bay, and the is trying to disengage, but he's under ward vision. There's a sentry just at the edge, and they have to reinvest into another sentry to get the kill, but they do find PP, so 1-for-1 trade, and kill goes to the Void Spirit, who is getting closer towards that Axe, though it's still a long way to go. This time he does not have the very useful Magnus to give him that empower buff.
PA is starting to get big, but at the same time, it's gonna take at least another 5 to 10 minutes before PA is gonna be able to fight. She needs a BKB and she needs a Deso. Those are the two requirements for a PA to have impacts in fights. Like, without the magic immunity, she's absolute food, and without the Deso, she's not gonna be able to kill anyone.
Surrounded by enemies, Ice Bath shuts him down, holds him in place, kill given the FCR. That's a 4-kill streak added on top of the already decently farmed PA. He is still behind the SF right now. Barker's been farming pretty impressively this game. But how much longer can he stay ahead of a Battle Fury PA?
Oh, Invoker. Infinity is just losing heroes left and right. Can you get away from this?
Oh, on the run. PP, can he disengage? Yes, he can. Mortimer's Kiss is doing a lot of damage. Centaur in trouble. Finished off, and on the side, Rashur will be able to disengage, but so will PP. They actually find 2 in trade, so Infinity, they take the lead right now after a pretty advantageous fight in their favor. Of course, doing all of this, the PA is still just, you know, farming.
Do they go into Roche? No, right? Can they do this? They're gonna try.
They do have a lineup that can very easily take Roche. They kind of need the Mind's Armor from Snapfire, who doesn't even have a little Shredder. So this is a completely different Snapfire build.
Both the SF and the Snapfire just changing things around. They do have the Invoker, of course, with both the Forge Spirit and Alacrity, and Mice is gonna be able to tank reasonably well. Of course, it also helps that the enemy team doesn't know that it's happening, so you have some leniency in terms of time.
Yeah, this is looking pretty decent here. Infinity back on track, but again, it is still against a PA no matter what happens. Until the game is over, you're still playing against the PA.
I do feel like they're on a little bit of a clock. It's late in the game. PA is quite a good matchup against the Shadow Fiend.
And against everyone else. I mean, you hit one triple stifling dagger crit and the entire team's dead.
Is under attack.
Because that's magic that the PA can bring to the table. Doesn't have his BKB yet, so this is the perfect time to catch him. Oh, they will find an easy pick on Jakir. The rest of the team trying to disengage. Nice spear, meme hammer, come land! And they will be able to connect. A double kill secured for the side of Infinity, and they do lose the Void Spirit again. That's his 4th death already. This game looking pretty trouble. I mean, his puck also had some problems.
He's still doing reasonably well in terms of farm. Nice kill onto the snap.
Oh, the spear doesn't land on towards the PA though, and he's gonna hit the meteor hammer onto the Centaur, but Centaur has Stampede if he wants to use it. And he does indeed sprint back to safety. Yeah, the PA is well, he's actually getting a little bit too far ahead at the moment. I mean, he's almost tied with Shadow Fiend, and it's already impressive that SF is just staying ahead the entire time.
And SF is like, alright, I can foresee this PA maybe becoming a little bit of a problem, so let's get an MKB immediately. Okay, doesn't have the BKB completed yet.
Plus Sunstrike, that's a huge catch. The high ground ward that he still had lingering about.
Double kill.
Going big, double kill for Barker. Still has that Aegis for 3 minutes. Top lane is being pushed in by the creeps as well, so they should be able to secure that tier 2 tower, plus the outpost, plus maybe even tickle the high ground. I mean, he does have presence, aura, affects buildings at the moment, and it's an SF with, you mentioned, all the buffs that he already has. So hitting buildings goes pretty easily.
Yeah, and Quicksilver Amulet now as well. With the Requiem on cooldown, that's a great neutral item to have. Look at this boy hit. As the presence affects buildings now as well. Buildings just melt.
Gone. Just a cold fog left.
Going for the MKB actually instead of a Silver Edge.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Oh, they find a nice dragon skill from their opponents. Huh. Scoop. But yeah, MKB, at that point you don't have to break the PA. You can just like mow him down in a couple of hits.
It's a little bit more reliable.
I mean, PA, he's going for the Deso next. Which, yeah, he's got a BKB, but he still dies very quickly to a 200 odd attack damage Shadow Fiend. That also has that
I do
effect.
think that once the Deso comes online and the Aegis runs out, we do have a shot. Because it's only a 1k lead.
Radiant's bottom tower's got problems.
Far from insurmountable.
I think that Void Spirit's Axe is going to be very crucial for them as well. Get that AoE silence, especially on the Voker, who's been honestly hitting his entire toolkit the entire game.
Squeak.
Ooh, nice TP from the Void Spirit.
Dire's bottom tower
BA
is
down.
being chipped
Uncommon
away.
position.
Dire have fortified their structures.
One tree separating him from definite death.
And he's like, I'll just keep farming. I'm fine.
I'm invis, you know. Got that magic going.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still love the PA's Aghanim Scepter. It's so weird, but strangely
Radiant's top
satisfying.
tower has looked better.
I mean, it turns PA into a league champion. Where you have like a quick dodge and cooldowns that reset on
Radiant's
kills.
bottom tower is under attack.
Isn't that like every league champion, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
They'll have flash and stuff.
You get to pick a summoner spell and
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
shout racist slurs at teammates. That's the league experience.
Oh, Void Spirit, he just gets easily picked off.
Dire's middle tower is
One
under
kill,
attack.
Parker continues to push, Lactic buff. 20 seconds until his Aegis expires.
Dire's middle tower just
He's just gonna try and get rid of these racks in that time. Or is he actually? They're gonna fade away. A little bit too spooked. PA in the meantime still farming up the enemy's jungle. And yes,
guess
they know exactly what they're waiting for.
They're not feeling too pressured because they know that they're gonna have MK SF, which means that even with the Deso, SF should still be able to win man fights.
Ogre Magi can't really run away, doesn't even have a DP if he wanted to.
Ooh. Ogre above the shard. So we're gonna see the fire shield. This is something we don't see too often.
That one, yeah. I mean, it has a nice animation.
I have literally never seen this.
I've seen it a couple of times, but it just like it's like nice, but that's about it. It doesn't like compared to, let's say, the shield from Tinker. You'd rather have that.
For sure. But maybe it's gonna absorb 3 of the guaranteed crits from PA though, because from this point on she could be critting every single hit.
Radiant's bottom tower's got
Gotta have that
problems.
RNGesus on your side.
That's a lot of damage avoided. Let's see.
So keeps pressing Requiem.
Not gonna be going for a Satanic, just buys has a Skadi queued up. Not sure how I feel about this. The Interitus is gonna be going for a smoke because they know their PA is now officially online. They wanna make some kind of play before Roche spawns.
Yeah, that second Roche, if you give it to the PA where he gets a free shard, and well, the PA's free shard is pretty freaking good.
Yeah, for sure. Breaking the SF is gonna be quite huge.
And pure damage, that's what, 13%? 16% AoE pure damage.
Yeah, and against Mars too. Just a great shot this game. Gonna see a big smoke though.
Smoke on
Hesitant to run high ground.
Playing a dangerous game right now. T-Flash walking up though, but he's playing the baiting game and they know exactly, Infinity know exactly what their opponents are doing.
It must be so scary for PB to play without a BKB right now.
The PA, they're gonna go in, Sunshine again, and he's dead. The SF just does too much damage with that MKB. Bursts right through the PA before he can even pop the BKB. And the high ground push continues. That's going to be the mid-center rack secured. No buyback available for 15 seconds. Jump in. They're going to regress onto Parker. But they manage to deal enough damage to get rid of the SF. He's taking some decent damage, but not nearly enough. While in the meantime, the line's being charged up by the Mars.
Dire's middle barracks are falling.
Very deep on that Mars. Might lose his life for it, though. And yeah, he's actually going to get taken out in the end. Nice shotgun blast from him. Pushing it further. And Parker did, I mean, they just decimated them. He's doing a little bit of damage to the enemies. They're going to only go for the top set. Bottom still has a tier 1, tier 2 if they want to. But Roshan's also up, so they'll just head right into the pit. Knock it dead.
It's such a world of difference. This Void Spirit to last game's Void Spirit. Feels like every single fight, Void Spirit just gets absolutely bursted down, and he hasn't been able to find any catches like last game on the puck. It feels like kind of a dead hero in this game. All the weight is on the shoulders of the PA for Interitus. Of course, PA is one of those heroes who can definitely solo win games, because he has the damage and the mobility. It's looking difficult, especially against an SF with another Aegis. A Satanic on the way too.
And a free shard, because that also does buff something. I always forget what. Shadow Fiend gains 2 souls per kill. Additionally, Shadow Fiend can consume 1 soul per attack to deal 190% damage. What? Did they change that?
It is like a worse Crystallis. Because you lose a soul and it gives you like 190% crit, but it has a 3-second cooldown. So if you attack fast, it's literally just a worse Crystallis that loses you souls. But hey, it's more right-click damage for free.
Didn't it have to... Wasn't the Necromastery shard different last patch?
It's been like this for a little while now.
Really? Okay, then I must just be blurring out. I thought it...
It's just that no one picks it up because it's kind of bad.
Or something. I might be somewhere off with my mind completely.
That's okay, that's why I'm here.
Yep, that's why you get paid the big bucks to support me in my very weird affair.
And make PP jokes. Alright, Shadow Fiend now on the high ground with an Aegis. He has a Satanic as well. And buildings are just being removed from the map right now. And Interitus, they need to go quickly or it's gonna be another set of racks gone before the fight even starts.
Who do you jump? Jumping the SF, who does have a BKB and an Aegis, plus the BKB, then moves the first. Oh, the triple bullwhip block! Oh my lord! That's actually the first time I've ever seen that happen.
Lots of whipping action.
Yeah, that looks beautiful. Triple whips. The color everywhere. Jump in, comes through. Another jump from the center, but he's just another death. Easy pickings coming in. The PA can't do anything because he is losing all of his teammates without anything being gained. SF still has his Aegis. And they're just walking in for the finish. Jump from Mariano looking for the PA, who's going to be able to dodge a little bit. But for how long? PP's right on his heels. Pops the BKB, he's going to go for the fight here, trying to get himself the Boca kill. He doesn't crit, finally gets a crit off, but there's Parker right on the chase. And the shotgun blast in the face will be the end of FCR. And with that, it looks like it should be the GG call. Indeed, that is going to be Infinity taking the series 2-0. And honestly, with the way that they played this series, I'm definitely begging for one of the big ones to win the entire ordeal and advance to the first division.
Yeah, I think so. There were quite a lot